And what's happening out there, guys? Welcome along to another episode of the 420 News. It's a little after 5:25 here, or 5:20 here in Cork. But if you're lucky enough to be over on the beautiful Azores Islands, then it's 4:20, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you're over there in the Azores Islands, also anybody out there on the Cape Verde, it's also 4:20 down there. So yes. We're just going to pop the hotline number off there as the hotline is closed currently. We might open her up in a little while if people feel talkative at all out there. Give a few shout outs to everybody in the audience there as well in a couple of seconds. Apologies there as well with the horse throat. I've been bloody down shouting for the last 2 hours teaching some self-defense. So I'm a little bit hoarse. And now I got to talk for another maybe hour or two. Let's see how long the stream goes for. Oh, Ares Alex. Hey, what's happening out there? Ares Alex. Billy Bonds is out there as well. What's happening, Billy? High and homegrown. What's happening out there? Is he? I'd imagine that is Mackie behind the high and homegrown. Others out there, surprise mofo. Daelgan is Daglon is Adam Dum. John Regan, John Finnegan, two Johnnies. Oh, hey, what's happening, boys? Sean Michael Duggan, what's going on? Sean Michael out there as well. Welcome to the hot box, guys. It's Monday, guys, and it's a bit later than normal. So hopefully, people who would normally be in work at this stage are hopefully at home and all, and packed up, rolled up, whatever you might be. Whatever way you might be consuming. But let's hope you're already deep into it. For myself, as I say, it's been a long old afternoon. I've had my meds this morning, but now it's time to dose up some more. Who's this? Chilbert UK. What's Chilbert saying down here? Some sad news. RIP Old Timer 1. Legendary breeder whose work led to the foundations of modern breeding. Raise a spliff for OT1. I have to do that. You got links there? Where can we find out about Old Timer 1? Where can we go and pay our respects? Just doing a quick Google search there now for this. Cannabis breeder. Nice one, Chilbert, for bringing this to my attention. Breeding the Culture Old Timer 1 from the Counter Culture. Okay, so we're just looking at some of the old blog posts here. So this is from Baird Bro Farms. Baird Bros Farms. Click here to enter, right. So I'll pop this up on screen so everybody can see what I'm looking at. So there we go. This is what I'm looking at there currently. This is over on Baird Bros Farms, PHARMS. See it there up in the corner if you can. With bloody cookies. Yes, save, whatever. Old Timer 1 is a lifelong collector, grower, breeder, and preservationist of cannabis genetics from around the world. Since the 1960s, Old Timer 1 has dedicated his life to collecting, preserving, and sharing knowledge about cannabis. As a breeder, he is best known for his work preserving unique traditional equatorial varieties. Based in the UK, Old Timer 1 has been forced to perform his life's work with cannabis completely underground and at considerable legal risk. Well, I for one anyway, just with that being said, I have to say, like, well done to Old Timer 1, because I'm sure there's cannabis strains out there which he's had his part in developing. And in fact, is there not a cannabis strain actually called Old Timer? I believe I definitely have heard of Old Timer in terms of like a cannabis strain. I just never really heard about the cannabis grower. So again, nice one there to Chilbert for bringing this guy to my attention. Haven't seen anything up there online about him passing away. Old Timer 1 cannabis. No, I'm not seeing anything up there at the moment. Yes, there's one about Subcool. All right, I can remember when Subcool passed away. There's another legendary cannabis breeder. Oh yes, I see it here now on overgrow.com as well. Somebody is putting her up here, oldtimer.com or overgrow.com. I've seen it posted here. I just read on a forum that OT1 has passed away. The message was posted by a reliable source. Sad news. Yeah, that's just somebody saying here as well, that there was a crash of the forum and some of the articles written by Old Timer were lost. And I actually have to say, like, I really enjoyed reading some of the old threads of Subcool. Subcool, who they mentioned within this article, who passed away back in February 2020, it says here. Yeah, Subcool had a lot of really cool posts. Seen a lot of his stuff up on what was the forum I was looking at. Roller Up was one of the forums where I came across a lot of Subcool stuff. But another legendary cannabis breeder who passed away there 2 years ago. Now we've got Old Timer One. Again, like for the amount of work that's been put in by these two legends, like I'd imagine Subcool definitely had his place within the online community, within the underground community then as well that existed from that online community. And Old Timer One as well, maybe on forums and stuff like that, that these guys got their dues. But in fairness, like they got nowhere near as to what was due to them, I suppose, for the work that they did put in, with the cannabis genetics that did come out of these guys. Again, as I said, I don't know too many of OT1s, but if he's anything, he or she is anything like Subcool, then, if I can, there's some great work after being done. So nice one, Chilbert. Interrupted me, bang it. Let's blaze up this next bowl and send that out there to OT1, Old Timer One. And it's a pity, I suppose, is there any images of this person? Like, do we actually have a real name at all to the Old Timer One, or is Old Timer One just going to be forever remembered as Old Timer One? It's kind of like, I don't know, like people having to hide out there behind names and you not really know who they are. Let's say Greenbird, for example, because he's somebody that we all know and he's out there putting himself at risk and growing away with cannabis and stuff. And if Greenbeard was to disappear in the morning, like we don't know who. Well, I know I've met Greenbeard and stuff, and I suppose some of you might have as well. But like, the work and the effort, it's never going to be paid towards the guy who he was, and it's unfortunate. So yeah, rest in peace there, OT1, and let's blaze one up, and let's hope someday that we no longer have to hide our names. People like Subcool, people like OT1, their name could be out there and remembered, for the legendary work that they've done. So blaze on up to OT1. Playing homegrown hair saying so many good breeders out the UK, man. Yeah, there's a lot of good breeders around the place, all right, but unfortunately, their work is incredibly restricted. Like you know yourself, Mackie, and I'm sure Temple Growers talked about it as well. That like when you're growing like cannabis variety for a breeding program, that you want to be growing a lot of cannabis strain, like a lot of seeds, in order to find the right phenotypes, and then you need to like reseed that plant that has the phenos. Then you need to replant all of those seeds in order to find the ones that express those traits again, and you keep on doing it until you got those traits, that pheno, locked in. Takes a lot of time and energy, and you have to wonder, let's say Subcool and OT1, like all of their work goes into developing these strains. There's years and years of work. And next, all of a sudden, there's a boom, boom, boom someday there on the front door. And next, it's the police, the police raid. Next, like an entire lifetime of this person's work, all of the time that's gone into developing these cannabis strains, just all gone, not gone up in smoke, but unfortunately just gone, going to be destroyed. They're left to rot at the back of a storage room of some police storage lot. Ridiculous. Like I can remember reading on the forums stories of genetics that were handed down, from consumer to consumer, grower to grower. That there might be a grower growing this cannabis strain, and they would pass a cutting along to another person, and that this cutting would be going for ages. And next, all of a sudden, the person gets raided and the genetics get lost, and it's just a heartbreaker when that happens as well. I can't think of the name of the strain there. There was a few strains there that are kind of talked about within the communities that were lost in relation to the raids that happened, especially over in America. And it's very unfortunate. You know, it's a lot of work goes into finding and developing these strains, and to lose them, then just like that, it's just a boom, 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 boom. It's all gone, just like that. Bye bye. Um, Amy Riley, what's happening? Amy Riley joining the hot box. Hi all, and Martin, hope you're all well. I'm doing mighty well. Amy, thanks for asking. That article by Sun-Grown Mids is very good. Sun-Grown Mids. Let's look up Sun-Grown Mids that Chilbert talks about. Sun-Grown Mids. Boom, boom, boom. Is that the one? Oh yeah, that was the one. Beard Bros Farms. Yep, that was the one I was actually on. Nice one. It was the same one, Martin. Yeah. Smooth, Martin. Super smooth. I wish that wasn't live. I could go back and edit it and nobody would see my little slip up. uh yeah, Dale on giving a piece out there to Old Timer One. So yes, a lot of respect coming in there from Old Timer One. Do you know of any strains, Chilbert, of Old Timer One? Or wait, Chilbert says yes, Old Timer Hayes is his predates the Hayes brothers Hayeses and Neville's Hayeses. That's interesting. That's good to know. Like, that there's, I suppose if he's been at it since the 60s, then this guy's work predates a lot of people's work. Neville says like that was Greenhouse Seeds, isn't it? Neville says. I'm just looking through others' comments. Crying homegrown as I think you're a little biased in that one. You're saying best growers in the world right here. We'll have to put that to the test sometime, huh, Mackie? We get the UK's finest growers, Ireland's finest growers, huh? And we see who's got the greenest of thumbs. Challenge on, man. Oh, excuse me. Rasher's here saying that he reckons that we're about 10 years behind here in growing trends. Yeah, I would definitely say that the UK is definitely more ahead of Ireland in terms of like the growing trends, if you call it that. But that's not to say that there isn't individual growers here that will, blow any grower out of the UK's any grower in the UK out of the water. Just a bit of friendly banter, by, do you know what I mean? The old English Irish rivalry is alive and well. Go on the boys in green. Haha, yes. High and homegrown times are slowly changing. Yes, slowly is the emphasis on slowly there. But again, guys, just a shout out to everybody out there listening right now, because each and every one of you guys, whether you know it or not, have the power to bring this change about. And you could do it tomorrow if you really wanted to. It's just, collectively, we all just agree not to follow this law. We're not doing it anyway, but we need to do it publicly, defiantly, in a civil disobedience protest. And watch that house of cards fall that the prohibition is built upon, because it's literally prohibition as a house of cards, and it's just waiting to crumble. Chilbert UK said he used to be on UK 420. He helped set up Underground Originals. Underground Originals, that was the place. I've met some of the guys from Underground Originals while I was on a cruise ship. Actually, funny enough, was on a 5-day cruise ship out around. Where was it? Just off the coast of Portugal. Anyway, we were going around to the Madeira Islands and stuff like that. This is going back when I was 21. This was my 21st. It was a gift to my girlfriend that we went on a cruise. Nice gift to be getting a girlfriend, bring her on a cruise, and you get to go too. But I happened to meet some reps, I suppose. The guys were working for Underground Originals. And he told me about the Killer Skunk. Yeah, Killer Skunk was the one. And apparently, like, they were bigging it up, like, it's like 1 gram per watt of light, was kind of what they were talking about. Um, and they were saying that's easily achievable, like, that's the minimum you were getting. So they were big enough to kill our skunk actually. So yeah, funny enough there now. Nice one again, Shilbert, for bringing that up. Guys, that was unexpected. So thanks to the hotbox. The hotbox provides some news. Albeit sad news, I know, but we have to celebrate the life that this guy or woman lived. I'd imagine old timer one was a guy, not being sexist and that, but I'm not seeing anybody saying lady. Keep seeing he. Yeah, I keep seeing he. Um, accept the best, reject the rest was one of his mottos. Not a bad motto. Chilbert UK says he developed DJ Short's Blueberry line and made ESB. You can buy these at Pips, by the way. So there you go, guys. Shout out to Pip Seeds. Get some of the old timer genetics over there. Blueberry line and ESB apparently, and DJ Shorts Blueberry line. Just flicking down through the rest of the comments there. Pods 4420. Some savage stuff going on in Ireland. In fairness, yeah, I've tasted some of the produce in Ireland, and it's but that's not to say that the UK isn't got some bomb ass stuff as well. But the most important thing is that, like, once we get the competition going, like, it's just everybody's going to have a good time, winners and losers, because at the end of it, we're all going to be bloody baked as cakes. Anyway, just packing up another ball here in the background. Roy Duggan out there in the hot box asking, are we talking about old timer one and his passing? We are indeed, Roy. It was news that was brought to my attention there just a few minutes ago by Chilbert, and I could not miss up the opportunity to pay homage to one of the greats out there within the cannabis community. Some of the people working in the background, developing some of the cannabis strains that we all know and love and enjoy so much. Maybe we've not been lucky enough to try some of old timer one's genetics. But nonetheless, the genetics that you do try have to be developed somewhere by someone, because none of us are really consuming any land races, that's for sure. So there was always some bit of input by somebody, whether it be by a dedicated person like Old Timer One, or some closet grower who just happened to come by some lucky seeds. But still, nonetheless, like that, there's always a story behind the strain. John Finnegan says that Mackie, just because Green Bear does a 6-month veg doesn't mean all Irish growers do. 6-month veg. Green Bear is a bit cray cray. Maybe he's got the space for it. In fairness, like if you got the space, you could do a 6-month veg time, as long as you got at least 3 flowering tents, so that at least and a few extra veg tents too, probably. Because you wouldn't want to be doing a harvest every 6 months, would you? I don't know, depending on what you consume. To each their own. I'm sure Greenbeard knows what he's doing as well. Chilbert UK correcting me here, says ESB is DJ Short Blueberry cross with his Nigerian skunk. So there you go, there's a little bit of the genetics behind the DJ Shortberry. It's DJ Shortberry, ESB, sorry, is DJ Shortberry crossed with Nigerian skunk. Nigerian skunk sounds pretty strong. It's not that UK skunk, UK skunk. Rasher says, don't get me wrong, Irish growers come in fees. Yes, that's it. Love to see the old banter. Cannabis Cup all the way. Yes. Battle of the Emerald Isles. UK versus Ireland. Or Britain. Yeah, UK versus Ireland. I suppose, the Scots would probably want their input, and the Welsh would probably want their input. So I'll be like the Welsh, the Scots, the English, the Irish, and the Northerners. Hunter says, I want to do a Slurricane cross sour grapes kush. Reckon that'd be nice. does sound interesting. That's Slurricane, all right. Like, Slurricane alone just sounds mouth watering. But sour grape Kush, like, gives you a bit of a ooh. Hits the old sour spot in the tongue. Barry Fields there with a bit of an old, what would we say, a battle song for the growers. He's saying, "Come on out, ye black and tans, come out and grow me like a man." Come on out, ye closet growers, come out and grow your cannabis like a man. Well, I think that's a bit of sexist. No, you know what I mean. I think we have to correct that song. I think we've to make it, PC, politically correct. So come out and fight me like a brave person. Oh no, feck political correctness, man. It's some madness these days, isn't it? Oh yes, I gotta give a shout out there as well. Actually, to Hunter. Hunter K is after sending down some cannabis seeds, which will be used as part of a giveaway, guys, to promote the Chew. To promote the Feed the Birds campaign. So we're going to do a Feed the Birds campaign. Well, we're pretty much in the middle of it now. So we're going to be doing a Feed the Birds campaign, and as part of that, we're going to be giving away some cannabis seeds, and I sent down a nice old variety of them. So I believe that they're all autoflower varieties as well. Some 3-packs, some 5-packs. I believe there's some single packs there as well. So yes, I look forward to the arrival of those and to doing something there throughout the month of March to make sure that you're all ready for April. Once we get past that last frost, then it's time to get popping with those seeds. I'm just going to look it up here now what Hunter is actually sending down. So again, much appreciated to Hunter K, listener of the show there, who was kind enough to send us down some. We got Cream Caramel Auto, and that's a 7-pack of seeds. There's some Fat Pete cookies coming down. That's a 5-pack of seeds. Then there is also a Jack 47 XL Auto. That is a 4-pack of seeds. Then we have a 3-pack of Auto Colorado cookies. And then there is a sour black, I would imagine that is. Is that the sour black grape or something that you might have been talking about there a few minutes ago, Hunter? And there is Zittles, ZKTZL. And both of those are 3-packs, I think. One of them actually could be a 4-pack. But there you go, guys. A nice little collection of seeds coming down. We'll get them out to some lucky listeners. We'll do some fun giveaways again. Pay attention to the news, guys, because, again, you see the little competition we did there Saturday. Any upcoming competitions we'll do here in the news will probably feature a question where the answer was on a recent or a not too recent, not too far behind our long ago episode of 420 News. And also, I suppose, just on the 1J giveaway that we've done, and just to fill you in on the upcoming 2J giveaway, I'm not too sure what happened. I was looking at the followers there last night, and I believe that, like, when we left here on Saturday, this was at 1,999 subscribers. But since it went back down to 1,987. And I'm not too sure what happened there. I went into the analytics and stuff and was looking and seeing, what was going on with the big exodus. But no, there wasn't any major loss of followers there that I could see. In terms of people who had unfollowed it, because it shows you how many follows you get and how many unfollows you get in the same day. So I'm not too sure what happened there. But look, nonetheless, we're only 13 away. That's all. 13 more followers there away from 2,000 subscribers there over on YouTube. And once we hit that 2,000 subscriber mark, then we will do a 2J giveaway where we'll give away 2 hand-drawn, hand-rolled J's. Both of them one-of-a-kind unique pieces, guys, for your own enjoyment. You stick it up on the wall and you sit there and you say, that's a very nice looking J. So guys, get sharing out there. Help grow the show. I suppose help grow that subscriber count. Let's get this over the line. 13 more subscribers. As I said, if you got many accounts out there, I'd much rather that you get a friend to follow rather than just going into all your own individual accounts and refollowing. I'd much rather just have like 2,000 unique subscribers. Yes, Rashers there, what wankers unsubscribed, or are YouTube honey dicking ya? Nice one. It was Sirius Black. It was Hunter K filled me in there when I was saying the Sour Black. It's Sirius Black. They're feminized, and that's a 5 pack plus one free seed, which is 6 seeds in that packet. Then there's Zittles, that's an auto 3 pack, Cream Caramel auto 5+2, Fat Pea Cookies auto 5 pack, and Jack 47 XL auto 3+1 pack. So there you go. Nice one again, Hunter. Don't forget, guys, get the old YouTube, get it shared around, get the old subscriber count up. Once we hit that 2,000 subscriber count, guys, we will do a 2J giveaway. Just for the crack. Let's blaze another one up. What are we now? 30 minutes to 4:20. The next 4:20 is happening over in these places. And John Finnegan saying that it's Putin faking with the analytics. Damn you, Putin. Orange Man Bed says YouTube acting the arsehole, Mart. You got that right, man. Paddy J reckons it's anonymous. They hacked the account. They're all after me, man. Speaking too much truth, sir. Barry Fields Clips says Hunter is a legend. Hashtag bring Alicia home. Guys, don't forget to be using that hashtag as well if you're posting over on Twitter, if you're resharing any medical cannabis related articles, if you're based in Ireland and if you want to support that campaign. Hashtag bring Alicia home. Alicia Maher, guys, is stuck in Alicante because of our medical cannabis access, or the lack of medical cannabis access here in Ireland. It's absolutely ridiculous. So we need to get Alicia home. So make sure you're sharing the hashtag around the place when you're posting over on Twitter, Facebook, and even on Instagram. And with that being said, let's also not forget the patients here in Ireland still campaigning. There's also a hashtag Ryan's Right, which is the patient Ryan Fowler has a sarcoma. He's got a type of cancer or tumor in his shoulder. Sarcoma? Is that the one? Sarcoma? Yeah, that's the one. Sarcoma. I don't know why I was trying to say sarcanoma. A sarcoma cancer. Yeah, that's the one. On his shoulder. But he basically has a prescription for medical cannabis access to do with the pain associated with that cancer. Ryan's no longer having to attend, a hospital in order to get pain treatment. He's successfully managing his pain now with cannabis as a pain reliever. Unfortunately, though, for Ryan and his family, the expense associated with Ryan's medicine has not been covered by the state on the under like the long-term illness benefit or any even the medical card either. So the family is having to fork out all of that money. They basically have to fork out, I believe it's €1,000 and odd every month. So some months they're coming short, and Ryan's having to do it like less of his medicine. It's like, imagine that. Imagine if you were going to your doctor and your doctor's like, here's your painkillers, and you're like, well, look, actually, I don't have enough there for all of them. And the doctor was like, yeah, grand, I'll just give you half of them. So like, just pay me for half of them. And it's like, but don't I need all of them, doc? Yeah, you do, but sure, look, you can't afford the other half of them, so I'll just give you half of them. Like that's not going to happen. That's why you've got a medical card. But if you're a medical cannabis patient, if you're reliant on cannabis as your form of pain relief, then unfortunately you don't get afforded the same treatment as other patients who suffer with chronic pain. So don't forget the hashtag Ryan's Right. Also, if you can fit it in there, hashtag my mammy needs her medicine. That's the case with Jen Devlin, guys. Let's not forget about Jen Devlin also. Guys, all of these patients you can find their stories up on patientsforsafeaccess.com. That's the patientsforsafeaccess.com little group that myself, Kenny Tynan, Alicia Maher are a part of. We're all directors of, along with Martin O'Brien there from Foxworthy Farms over in the UK. And yeah, we're hoping to, through that organisation, through that group, we can better represent patients here in Ireland in their fight for better access to cannabis. So check that out, guys. There's patient stories up there, Pamela's story, Ryan's story is up there, Jen's story is up there, I believe Vera's story is up there, Alicia's story, and others too. Names eluding me right now. What's this one about here? Barry Fields giving me a link now to Guru Glueberry OG status. Oh yes, Glueberry OG is Hunter. Hunter is an absolute legend. As this is what the link is to. Hashtag bring Alicia home. Go on, Hunter, the absolute legend. Continuing that, and I definitely have to give this another retweet there as well. Hashtag bring Alicia home. Today we did 6.7 kilometers, day 49 of walking to bring add Alicia Maher and other medical cannabis patients home. Nice walk today with my grandmother and her dogs. And tagging there the appropriate ministers as well. Stephen Donnelly, our Minister for Health, Frank Feehan, the Minister in charge of our National Drugs Strategy, and myself. Nice one. And the hashtags there then as well, hashtag cannabis and hashtag what about us, which was a recent campaign there launched by the People Before Profit, highlighting the need for better access for patients in Ireland and the many patients excluded by the discriminatory medical cannabis access programme. I was tempted to hit the notifications there. You see that and you're like, oh, I gotta hit it. We'll resist. Well done, Hunter. Day 49 of that walk. Good stuff. What's that, Hunter? Hunter's just got up today's walk. So that was yesterday's, was it? Oh, it was yesterday's. Hunter doing day 50. Go on, day 50. Yep. Gotta give respect where it's due. So Hunter here with day 50 too. Today he did 6.7 kilometers, day 50 of walking to bring Alicia and other medical cannabis patients home. Nice walk today with just the dog. So the grandmother wasn't feeling it today, but happy days for the doggy. Doggies are always up for the walk. And again, tagging Frank, Donnelly, myself, hashtag cannabis, hashtag what about us. Gonna retweet this one with the quotes as well, you know, hashtag cannabis reform Ireland. Hashtag bring Alicia home. Ah, no, I hit the caps there. Oh, man, and I hit it back there too. Fat fingers, huh? There we go. Bring Alicia home. Hashtag Ryan's Right. Boom. There we go. So those are the hashtags that I would. Oh, wait. What about us? Boom. There we go. So, guys, if you're looking for any of the hashtags that I mentioned, get over there. And while you're over there, make sure you give my page a follow over on Twitter. But then you can just copy and paste these to any of your own posts, or you can just simply type them because they're not that hard to remember. Cannabis Reform Ireland, bring Alicia home, Ryan's Right, Mammy needs her medicine, and what about us? Boom. So done and dusted, guys. So get that done yourselves as well if you're over on the old Twitter box. Nice one for the update there, Hunter. Good stuff as well on the campaign. Absolute legend. Guys, as well, I see a lot of people joining the Telegram there as well of lately. So welcome to all of the new members to the 24/7 Hotbox over on Telegram. Link in the description there over on YouTube, Facebook, and on Twitch as well, I believe. Just hit the link, you'll be able to join. Keep in mind, public group, so be careful of what you share over there, but it's a nice community. Nobody's been bowled over there as of yet, so let's continue that as long as we can. So if you're not on any of those social medias or anything like that, if you happen to be just watching on YouTube, then maybe Telegram is the place for you to go. Telegram is a nice, again, this is not a plug from or anything like that, because I can not sponsor them, but it's a great privacy app. It's not owned by like Facebook or anything like that. Yeah, there's got good controls there through the group as well. Anything important, I'll start using pins. We got a couple of admin over there as well. A few of those are in the hot box right now. Shout out to Loki. Shout out to whoever else is the admin over there at the moment. I don't know, is it just yourself? I think Podge isn't admin anymore. I can't remember. But yeah, shout out to Podge as well. Hopefully Podge is good. I haven't heard from Podge in a while. Podge, if you're out there, man, send him my love. Paddy J says, I see some truck driver breached the Russian embassy in Dublin today, was arrested immediately. It's on his Twitter. Oh man. Like, stick to the cannabis news anyway. I'm going to stay away from this war stuff. Except actually this war stuff. Oh, with this being said, Greenbeard is an absolute fucking legend, because we're going to head over to Greenbeard's Instagram. And it's funny, when I type in green on Instagram, I get so many greens, and Greenbeard doesn't come up. Where's Greenbeard? Greenbeard Collective? What? I'm not getting Greenbeard. No way. I definitely have him in my messages anyway, like, so we get him there. GB, is your bloody Facebook page, you're blacklisted, kid. You're not coming up. I literally just typed in your name, Greenbeard, and you did not come up there at all, bud. So just to give you a heads up, Mackie, pass that along. I literally typed in Greenbeard and it did not come up. I spelled it correct. I didn't put a space actually in between the green and the beard. Maybe that's what got me, but I put in the whole lot green beard and it did not come up. But anyway, outside of people being shadow banned. Look at this one. Wait, no, we make sure we get the volume nice and loud. Boom, boom, boom. Pause. Volume. Volume up. So you should be able to hear this now nice and loud. Listen to this guy. This is just so you know what we're going to be watching. Again, you see up in the top corner there, it says near Kiev. So obviously, you know, that's over in Ukraine, where the ongoing conflict is going at the moment, where Russia has invaded Ukraine. But this is one of the locals, the civilians from the Ukraine fleeing the conflict. And they were being interviewed by a British press journalist. And this is what they had to say. I love it.
What was it like in there? Where you've just come from Erpen or somewhere else?
We were on a circle, like, you know, like...
Okay, don't worry. Okay, they're very stressed. Tell me quickly, are you all right?
I'm all right.
Yes.
How many people are trapped in there?
Legalized.
It's we legalize.
British. How many more?
Legalized in Britain.
Pardon?
Is cannabis legalized in
I don't know. A cannabis license. And that's all you're thinking about.
Yes.
How many civilians are still there? Do you
Yes.
think?
Absolute legend. I'm just going to give that a replay because it's so short. It's worth the replay. It's so fucking funny, man. Because
We were on a circle,
the dude just had a smoke. He's definitely chilled, like.
Don't worry. Okay, they're very stressed. Tell me quickly, are you all right?
I'm all right.
And how many people?
It's that, man. It's like, I'm alright.
420.
Yes, 420 news. Oh, I can't.
British.
Somebody find me this guy.
Legalized in Britain.
Somebody find this guy. We'll get him a gaff to stay here in Car. We'll get him some of the finest bud as well, a Carcast offer, because he's a legend.
How many civilians are still there, do you think?
I think not many.
What an absolute fucking hero, man. Like when I seen that there yesterday, I was just like, oh yes. Because I was kind of jokingly saying it, there's like, oh yeah, the problems over in Ukraine and stuff, there's like cannabis and all that. But like to see this dude come out of there and like that's what's on his mind. He's like, yeah, is cannabis legalized in Britain? I'm going to try and get over there. Otherwise, I'm going to Amsterdam. But yeah, I just thought that was fucking golden. So hopefully you were all able to hear that loud and clear. Hunter saying download Strava and track your walks, etc. When you go out with the dogs or the family lads, get a screeny of it and give it a share with the tags on whatever platform you use. So there you go guys. If you'd like to get involved in that campaign that Hunter continues to do, since I believe Hunter, you started at around the time that we done the it was the international or national walking day. Frank Fian was promoting it at the time, so we said we'd do something for the crack, and we were trying to walk like 420 or 4,200 kilometers, wasn't, or something like that, all the ways over to Alicante to Alicia and nearly back to Cork again. But yeah, I think you started around then. That was around like October, November, if memory serves correct. There you go. Paddy J also is giving you a heads up there, Hunter, that you can earn while you run. If you're into the crypto, there's a crypto app called Step N, and you can earn as you walk / run. It's on Binance apparently. No need to apologise, Daily Talker. Hopefully you caught that clip there. If you didn't catch that clip, Daily Talker, either rewind or head over to the Greenbeard's Instagram, and you'll find it over there. Who's that? Hunter Holyfuck Martin? The amount of tabs you've opened. Yeah. I removed the filter. I have a filter on there where I've kind of got that cropped out. Yeah, I can put it back on now. Oh no! Look, don't look at me hoarding tabs. Okay, I'm not hoarding. I'm definitely going to use those tabs later on. Okay. Some of those tabs are very important, like this one. This one's a very important tab. And there's 14 minutes left until 4:20. It's a highly important tab, if you ask me. Hey, yes, got it in there. So what's in the news today? Let's get one headline out of the way there, I suppose, because there's like 2 or 3 headlines that I'd want to bring up. One of the articles that I actually want to deal with on today's 420 news is a piece that I spotted over on Twitter, and it's involving a past guest of the show, and it's none other than Natalie O'Regan, and apparently, and this is according to Natalie O'Regan's Twitter, and from the people of Cork, but Cork has its very own cannabis girl. And this is a post gone up there on Natalie's. She hardly has removed it, does she? No way. Where is it gone? Natalie. Was it yesterday you posted it, Natalie? Oh, it was definitely up there now. Oh, there we go. There it was. Yeah, my bad. Scarlett cycling home, she says, stopped at a red light and a student shouts out the window, safe cycling. And she turned and said thanks, and then the person shouts out, I know you're the cannabis girl on Twitter. And 5 out other people's heads came out the window saying, "Way, hey!" She says, "Gotta love UCC Rag Week." So yeah, there's even our own very own Amy Brown, and I forgot to give it a retweet as well because I thought that was hilarious. Cheered up Amy Brown, and yeah, I see there's a lot of people out there thought that was brilliant. Cannabis girl. Yes. And I think it's a fitting title, in fairness. Like, Natalie's a champion of her own right out over there on Twitter and online. And, even in other places, I'd imagine, Natalie's, flying the flag there for cannabis regulation and for safe cannabis access and for the ending of the discrimination of the cannabis consumers. So well done, Natalie. And I think, yeah, fitting title, Cannabis Girl. And from Cork too, what a surprise! Like, two of Ireland's leading cannabis activists there from Cork. Natalie and Graham DeBarra. Jokes. So yes, Cannabis Girl. So that I think that's what she's forever going to be known as anyway. At least over here on 420 News, Cannabis Girl. In other news and in more depressing news, I suppose, going back to the regular old fucking, the boring old stuff. There was a woman arrested on Thursday night of last week, obviously, I'd imagine, wherein the Gardaí seized €100,000 in cash. Well, actually, 100,000 euro in cash and €5,000 in cannabis above in Dublin. A woman in her 30s who is originally from China was arrested when the Gardaí from the National Drugs and Organised Crime Bureau raided the property on Thursday. It's said that the Gardaí raided the property as part of an investigation into the suspected sale and supply of drugs by a man known to the woman. So the raid happening at the property had nothing to really do with the woman as such. It was an investigation being carried out because of another individual, a man known to the woman. But nonetheless, it's the woman taking the brunt of it here. It says that a total of €105,660 in cash was seized from the property, along with €5,000 of suspected cannabis herb. So again, like you look at that sum of money, it's quite a substantial sum of money. In fairness, like 100 grand, like that's quite a bit of money. And if that's all being made, it's been the way it's been portrayed here is that this is all in relation to drug dealing, to cannabis supply. And again, you look at the missed opportunity that's there. Like not only is there a missed opportunity again for the Exchequer to be bringing in a tax there, a cut from that, but also the opportunity to protect consumers by having information at the point of purchase for consumers to make informed purchases then and to better and better choices around cannabis that they consume. Major missed opportunities. Again, that the Gardaí are preparing their file, going to be going to the DPP. Again, that's resources there. That's money being spent by the state at an opportunity when they could have been making money and doing something that actually was effective at keeping people safe, such as the regulation of cannabis, So that was a news piece coming out of Dublin. And in another news piece actually coming out of Dublin, and this one was really annoying actually when I came out across this one. This was a news piece that was over on independent.ie. So I'm actually going to pop this one up in the screen so you can all see it as I go through it here, because it's worth rereading. Witchy. It's written by a guy, a journalist by the name of Andrew Phelan, over on independent.ie. But the headline reads, "Dad used Dublin hospital trip as an opportunity to buy cannabis." And it's just like, I think that's a terrible portrayal of the person. It's just like, what did his trip to Dublin have to do with his buying of cannabis? It seems like they're really like trying to tear this person, like, in a very negative light. He used a trip to do the hospital as an opportunity to buy cannabis, like, and saying that it was a dad who done it, like, so that to me, when I read it, it implied, like, was he bringing his son to hospital? So a dad was bringing his son to hospital. So that's how I read this at the start, like, and I just thought that was just very bad. It was a very negative portrayal of the individual before you even get into any details within the story, It's like, I don't know, do you agree, disagree with me? Am I reading too much into that headline? But for me, as soon as I read that, I read dad used Dublin hospital trip as an opportunity to buy cannabis. So for me, it was like kind of a dad bringing his son or daughter to Dublin, to the hospital, and kind of went away while the child was in hospital and bought cannabis. It was like there's an image being portrayed there, and it's just kind of like, oh, these irresponsible druggies then, like, just people who might read that and have that image then. But let's get into it anyway, the finer details of the story. It says a father who was attending a hospital appointment with his son also took the opportunity to buy cannabis while he was in Dublin. And Fergal, and again, the guy's named here. Just going to call him Fergal, as I've already said, 60 years of age, had planned to share the cannabis with a couple of friends over a few months. And again, when we talk about the amount of cannabis he got caught with, when we get to it there in a little bit, but the judge ordered that the individual here donate €1,000 to Pieta House and said he would leave him without a conviction. And why the judge is looking for so much is because basically the solicitor fucking snookered the guy. The solicitor went in and I'll get into it here as I read the rest of the story. I suppose I don't want to spoil as before I get to it. It says the defendant and gives the person's address again. It's terrible. Like, you know, the guy got caught with a little bit of cannabis and his name and address is up there. So like, even if he doesn't get a conviction, you know, if a potential employer that he's like, you know, looking to get a job with in the future, Googles the guy's name, it's like, it's there. If he happens to Googles the guy's name and address, he's definitely going to be finding this article. But anyway, it goes on to say that the defendant, Sergeant Maria Callan told Blanchardstown District Court that the Gardaí were operating a checkpoint when they stopped the black Audi A3. Says Sergeant Callan said that there was an overwhelming smell of cannabis coming from the vehicle, and when the car was searched, Gardaí found a quantity of cannabis in the money lodgement in a money lodgement envelope hidden in the side pocket of a sports bag. Sergeant Callan said the cannabis had a street value of €850 and that the suspect cooperated fully with the Gardaí and admitted possession of the cannabis. The court heard that the individual had 2 previous convictions but hadn't been in trouble for more than a decade. The defence solicitor said that the defendant accepted the valuation of the cannabis, but he had only paid €300 for it. So the guy paid €300, so I was assuming it was like an ounce or something that he'd bought. But no, actually, in fact, when it go down to it, like when you break it down, the €850, it actually works out at somewhere between 42 and 43 grams, because basically the Gardaí value it at €20 a gram. Now, they probably weighed it in the envelope, unless it was a particularly heavy envelope, like it was saying in a money lodgement envelope. Like, that doesn't sound particularly heavy to me. So unless they weighed it in the envelope, adding on a few extra grams there, the guy got a good price for his cannabis nonetheless. It goes on to say anyway that the defendant was attending a hospital appointment with his son. Exactly. So my assumption of the headline was right. In Dublin, and he availed the opportunity to collect cannabis. The solicitor said that the defendant was currently not working and had previously worked as a driver and had worked abroad. So again, you know, they're making it the case obvious here that the guy does not want to get a conviction, and he's willing to do pretty much whatever the court requires for him not to get a conviction, because the defendant was completing an English teaching course and he hoped to work in Sudan, and he'd been due to travel to Sudan in the not too distant past there, but due to the political situation over there deteriorating, he'd been unable to travel. The solicitor then asked the judge to leave the defendant without a conviction, as the conviction would impact on his ability to teach abroad. So there you go, like, you know, he really, like, you know, showed the desperation there of the defendant. The defendant then made the judge aware that he had brought €500 to the court with him. But that's the point then, with the judge was like, you €500? It's like, oh yeah, well look, if I give you another 30 days or however long it was that he gave the individual, the defendant, he's like, yeah, give me another €500 actually, and in fact, you know, because Pieta House needed. And you know, let's not forget as well, you know, you go back to the start of the pandemic there, and let's not forget that Pieta House laid off a hell of a lot of staff. And not to be overslating them, because I think their services it's one that's vitally needed and all of that, but I thought that was just a bit crazy back then that they laid off a load of staff. But now they've got a fair bit of money coming in from a person who in the not too distant future could end up actually needing their services because of the fucking court case that he's actually gone through, you know. So in fact, maybe he might benefit from the donation there that he's going to be making. So that's a case out of the Irish courts. Disgusting stuff, really. Like, you know, it's like, come on, the guy went and got a bit of cannabis for his own use. He was going to share it with some friends. In fairness, where is the crime? Where is the crime? Who's getting hurt? Like, come on, where is the victims? The only victim I see is the defendant before the courts. The only person I see inflicting harm upon people is the guards, is the solicitor, or is the director for public prosecutions and the judges. They're the ones inflicting harms upon people who consume cannabis. It's like the amount of time that the cannabis does the harm, it's minuscule compared to the amount of times that the judges do the harm. Like, you know, it's just like how many people really experience harm with their cannabis use or go on to abuse cannabis and have a psychotic break or something like that. It's just like very few and far between. How many people get caught with cannabis, and that's sure, once you get caught with it, that's sure to do some damage to you. And I speak from experience in that, like, just being subject to a stop and search, it's fucking traumatic enough. So that's coming out of the Irish courts there, and that's the end of the Irish news that I have for you today. But there is another news piece that I do want to get to for you. But before we get to that, guys, we've got 35 seconds. So let's see if I can pack a bowl in 35 seconds. Let's hope all of you are already rolled up there and ready to go and better prepared than I. 22 seconds. Yeah. I even have a 10 seconds left. That's enough time to get a little bit of hydration. And again, it's probably 4:20 right now wherever you are, but there's a time delay. But it is 4:20 right now. Let's pop that up so you can all see, so you know I'm not lying, she. That's right as well, John Finnegan, actually. That's a very correct observation. John Finnegan pointing out that wasn't one of the heads of Pieta House charged with fraud or misappropriation of funds or something similar a while ago. I think you could be correct in that. At least there was some charity that was embroiled in some controversy there not too long ago. But yeah, it could have been Pieta House if memory serves correct. Let's blaze. Yep. Cheers and slime that Daily Talker and everybody else out there. We got 36 of you beautiful people out there in the audience right now. And we got 59 minutes till the next 4:20, guys. So enjoy the next hour. I've only got one more story for you today, guys, and it's a positive one, actually, nonetheless, thankfully. So the final headline I have for you today on the 420 news is coming out of Illinois. And it's coming from Marijuana Moment. I hate that word, marijuana, to be fair. Like, I just, go back, check out a video I did there at the earlier days of the show. In fairness, it's got some of the poorer production quality. We've come up now in the world. We got a better camera now and everything. But I done a whole piece back there, as the racist roots of the word marijuana and the war on drugs as well as a whole. But marijuana was a term dreamed up really just to kind of pull the wool over people's eyes as to so that when they're demonizing marijuana, people wouldn't be associating it with their cannabis medicines or the cannabis that was being grown in the field for the hemp, because that they knew back then, it was cannabis crop for hemp. But anyway, we won't get stuck down too much in that at the moment. This is coming from Marijuana Moment, published by Ben Adlin. So that's the journalist behind this. It was published over there 2 days ago. And it is the Illinois House approves workplace protections for cannabis consumers. So I think this is worthy of this. Well done, Illinois. I think it's great to see states taking a responsible approach towards regulating cannabis use within their society, to clean up the mess caused by prohibition, because there is a lot of misunderstandings, I suppose, as to the effect of cannabis and all of this. And there's a lot of mistreatment out there for cannabis consumers in workplaces, such as, on job interviews, drug tests. That's discriminatory. Because, if your interview's on a Monday morning and on a Friday night you want to go out and you do a few lines of cocaine, well, by the time you go in there on a Monday morning, there's a likelihood that that's come out of your system and all, as long as you weren't going right up until Sunday night, which could happen too with cocaine. But if you were responsible and you just done it that one night, and you only took a few lines or whatever, and you did good all night, and that was it. Saturday morning, you got up and you went, looked after yourself, long brisk walk, whatever. Hit the gym Sunday, swim, nice responsible, sauna, sweat it out. Monday you go in, you're gonna piss clean, man. If you're a cannabis smoker, and if you're having an old talk in the evening time, and you're not going to be passing any drug test, unless you go off it for a good couple of days. I mean, even in certain cases, a couple of weeks even. So that's some of the discrimination that's faced out there for cannabis consumers. So hopefully that's part of some of these protections that are now being put in there, to protect cannabis consumers from being discriminated against in the workplace. So it reads here, adults in Illinois who use legal cannabis during their free time would be protected from losing their jobs under a bill approved Thursday by the state's House of Representatives. The measure, which now proceeds to the Senate, so it's yet to be approved actually, so it's to go through the Senate. My apologies there, I jumped the gun. I actually thought that this was like all sealed and approved, so fingers crossed now that it actually gets through the Senate over there. It will prohibit most employers from firing workers or discriminating against job applicants merely for testing positive for cannabis use, with some exceptions. It says, if we're going to legalize the substance, you should talk about individual liberties and what people want to do on their weekends. And that was being said there by the bill sponsors, Republican Bob Morgan, is that Representative Bob Morgan, and D for Democrat? I don't know. But this person was telling the local NBC affiliate before the vote, we should allow people to make good choices and not be discriminated against, emphasis there on the not be discriminated against in the workplace because of those choices, as long as it's not affecting the workplace, which is important, as long as it's not affecting the workplace. Like, what business is it of your employers if you're out, getting drunk every Friday night, as long as you're not showing up to work fucking drunk on a Monday morning? Like, what business is it of your employers if you're out doing, smoking some cannabis on a Friday, Saturday night, whatever the case might be? And as long as you're showing up fit for work, the work's been done to the quality expected, you're meeting, the requirements of your employment, what's the problem? Again, you have to compare this, I suppose, to kind of the gay thing, because if you went back, 20, 30 years ago, some employers might have had a feeling towards gay people, such as, I don't like them, so if I know that there's a gay person working for me, then I'm going to fire them. If I know there's a gay person applying for a job with me, then I'm going to fire them. For what reason? Well, I'm just going to say, whatever the case may be. I don't know, back in the 90s, could you even get away? You could probably get away with fucking firing someone because, I can't have a gay person working for me. You could probably get away with that back in the 90s. Up to, like, this is how cannabis consumers are being treated as well. Is it a person's fault that they like cannabis, that they want to consume cannabis, that they might need to use cannabis because of a medical condition? Because that was the argument that the gay community put forward. It's just like, I was born this way, do you know what I mean? I was born liking the same sex, and what of it? Like, what can I do? Like, I can't be held responsible for the way in which I was born. Again, for me, let's say, for example, I was born in a way in which I now require cannabis to help manage my seizures, my epilepsy. Should I be held and treated like a criminal for that? Should I be discriminated against in my ability to get jobs with people such as the guards, I might add, because the guards had a big thing up there about diversity over the last week or so. And, they were doing a big diversity campaign. They were hiring like a load of... there was like a lot of Indian people, there was like African people, there was Chinese people, I think, and other Asian people as well, I'd imagine. All people from all walks of life, all nationalities, they were hiring. But I couldn't help but resist and just be up there. I was just like, what are you doing there to accommodate for people who might be using cannabis as a medicine? Where's your respect for diversity there in that area? And obviously there was the crickets from the Garda page, the Facebook page, but I did get a few people to kind of be saying, oh, this is not relevant, this is not the place. Nobody could put forward a valid argument really, like to what I had posed, in my opinion anyway. But anyway, we digress. We get back to this article here. It says in 2019, Illinois became the first state to legalize cannabis and to launch a retail system for adults through an act of the legislature rather than a voter initiative. Last year saw the state saw more than $1 billion in sales of recreational cannabis products. $1 billion. So like that's $1 billion in that state, and what's the tax on that? I don't know what the tax is on that. Like, but let's say it's even if it's like fucking what would you say, 10%? 10% is still a fucking $100 million like that the state of Illinois is going to be using. That's $1 billion that's not going into the pockets of organized crime gangs. Like, come on, like wake up and smell the coffee there for the prohibitionists. But anyway, Morgan's workplace protection legislation contains exceptions for certain categories of employers or employees. For example, jobs where workers operate heavy machinery or aircraft, carry a weapon, perform emergency service, or perform other safety-sensitive tasks. Companies could also still fire employees for being impaired by cannabis while at work. Organizations that exist to promote drug abstinence would also be exempt from the change. So that's unfortunate. Imagine working for a drug abstinence organization and being like, 420 friendly. That would be an interesting work or job. The House passed an amendment version of Morgan's bill, and that was on a vote of 61 to 41, and that was passed on Thursday. But one member voting present. Lawmaker approved 2 amendments, including one that replaced the original bill in its entirety and another one that modified a new language. So again, a few changes there made. So again, the little adjustments there as far mentioned. Is it worth reading all the rest of this? I think is it lengthy? Oh no, it ends there. Oh yeah, it's just a new article is loaded down below, so it made it seem like it was a lot longer. As amended, the measure would protect workers who use lawful products of job premises during networking hours and when the employee is not on call. Workers at entities that are not contractors of the Federal Department of Transportation would not receive the protection, nor would the bill add any additional protections under the state's workers' compensation laws. That's interesting. So any like federal workers are exempt from this as well. Like, so obviously because it's still not federally legal. Some observers, including local news talk radio, have pointed out that the bill, as currently written, would apparently only protect workers who test positive for relatively low amounts of cannabis. So again, what they're pointing out here is like if you're like me and you're a daily user of cannabis, and if you're a person who needs it maybe for medical reasons, that you're still going to test high, and therefore they can still kind of fire you then. But maybe for medical users, there's a higher threshold. I'm not too sure. Says in Illinois, drivers are considered impaired if they test positive for THC at a concentration of greater than 5 nanograms per milliliter of blood, or 10 nanograms per milliliter of other bodily fluids. Keep in mind, guys, right? It says 5 nanograms per milliliter of blood. In Ireland, that is 1. I believe it's 1, or it's like 1.5. I think it's 1. So if you test with 1 nanogram per milliliter of blood of THC, you're over the limit. 5 over there. That's 5 times the difference. And then look at the next sentence. That limit is seen as too low by some critics who note that THC level can remain high in users' bloodstreams days or weeks after demonstrable impairment. So there you go. Setting off a similar limit for workers in general could mean employees' jobs will be at risk even for off-duty cannabis use. For instance, smoking a joint the night before work and then showing up the next morning, even if that worker demonstrates no indication of impairment, because you're going to test over the limit. The way cannabis is metabolized, these tests are discriminatory the way they're currently run, and the limits are set. The Illinois Manufacturers Association, which represent a number of large employers in the state, remains neutral on the bill. That's unfortunate. Come on, guys, get off the fence. Saying we don't believe that the bill was perfect. I think that we're going to continue to work on the safety-sensitive position in the Senate, and said the IMA's Government Affairs Director, Donovan Griffith. But to that point, Representative Morgan has been working with the business communities tirelessly. I believe all of the amendments he has made up to this point have been done at the request of the business community. And then there's a bit more in there about Washington and all of that stuff. So if you want to go and read out the rest of that, by all means, go for it. I'm going to close it out there. What's the next article? It's cool the way this one works. It's like you can just keep scrolling down through the articles. So Marijuana Moment, guys, if you're looking for a cannabis news website, it's a good one. They have a lot of the American news covered over there from that angle, and they get some good articles up there from time to time as well. Hey, Mr. Fudge, welcome to the show. Welcome. Just looking through your comments there now, guys, as it's been a little bit. Don't forget to like the video, guys. Yes, nice one there, Ashers. Marie McCloskey says hi to Barry Fields, and the Guru as well. Stray facts. What's happening, Guru? Marie McCloskey saying psychosis is caused by removing CBD and adding THC. The illegal market allows the spraying of weed with synthetic cannabinoids too, which also causes psychosis. Such a weak argument for criminalization. Well said, Marie. Marie, or Jay is on the way as well. That's all posted there, so expect that maybe within the next 1 to 2 days. Maybe might arrive tomorrow. Fingers crossed. Hazmat 58 says there's a bit of synthetic drifting south from the north at the moment. That's unfortunate to hear. Hazmat 58 says Monaghan Leitrim kind of area. So heads up to anybody out there in the Monaghan Leitrim kind of area. Be wide. There's some synthetic stuff doing the all rounds, drifting around the gaff there, as Hazmat says. Oh, it's drifting south from the north. Yeah, you gotta take back the north and sort this out, because it's like if that was all the Republic above, we wouldn't have these problems at all. Jokes. Hazmat 58 also adding in, I wonder who will challenge impairment in the courts here first. Well, don't mind if I do. Well, Hazmat, actually, it's funny that you say that. Like, John, it's Ireland actually is the most, from what I've seen anyway. Like, they've got a pretty good approach to the cannabis and medical cannabis use and driving. While we've got very limited medical cannabis users in Ireland, legal medical cannabis users, those who are lucky enough to be a legal medical cannabis user have been given the benefit of an adjustment in the Irish laws, where basically the cops, they can't use the testing. They have to look at an impairment test. So they have to do like a sobriety test there to see if the person's like reactions are kind of off because of how stoned they might be, or medicated actually, sorry, in that instance. The medical cannabis patients in Ireland, the legal ones, again, very small, very, very, very small number of them have gotten the benefit of that change. Unfortunately, the rest of us who medicate illegally have not seen any real benefit then as a result of that change, unfortunately. And Billy Bonds getting in there, the hashtag feck the fair mafia. He says it a bit more aggressively, but it would just be fuck the fair mafia. There we go. We'll say it. We're not really a PG show anyway. Like, we talk about cannabis. I believe that there's probably some restrictions hit on it by YouTube. Not a bother, all, Marie. Nice one for entering. Glad to see it go to a good home. Guru Ganja Goat says, I know someone who was in court and on the way back he was stopped and tested. He failed. It was a setup, clearly. Yeah, well, if they're out for you, man, they're out for you, and there's not much you can really do in that instance then, is it? Like, And that's unfortunate as well, because if you're from an area, from say such as down in West Cork, and you're in one of these small towns, such as I don't know, you could be in, imagine you're in Ballydehob, and just there's a local cop down there in Ballydehob, and you had a run-in with him, and you had a bit of a disagreement. The next, no, because you had a bit of a disagreement, the cunt is out for you, like, and he's just constantly headhunting you. He sees you around the place, lights come on, pulling you in, and you're just getting hassled down there then because of that. Like, as a young fella, it's like, it'd be shit, wouldn't it? But yeah, and even up around the city, I suppose, like, I experienced it myself growing up. You walking down the road, and next fucking the cop car would pull a U-turn and come back and search me and my cousin, and you're just getting searched on the side of the road, man. It's pure humiliating, and degrading and everything. Like, it's shit. Wouldn't recommend it at all. Barry Fields, what is that comment about? Does anyone ever feel like they've lost a wisp of gold? Did you lose it, or did you eat it and forget that you ate it? Because I think I've done that in the past. Like, I've been like, gone looking for something and then realised, like, oh yeah, shit, I didn't eat. I ate that already. It's like, damn it. Actually, got a packet of Lucky Charms down there in the cupboard for later now. Be a nice little munchie while watching an episode or two with the old fam. Have something, hopefully. Ooh, Hunter. Hunter saying here, Martin, I wonder if that judge in Dungarvan would lose his mind if I sparked up in the back row, like. Yeah, it'd be interesting, alright. I don't think he would be happy at all if you were to do that. Not one bit, no. And I wouldn't recommend it either, Hunter, but look, if you did feel like doing that, then look, that's your right to express yourself and then protest however you may feel like. But I wouldn't, like, for me, I wouldn't do it in the court, because they do you for contempt of court, which is shit. Excuse me. You're better off standing at the front door of the court and sparking up out there and driving the cops mad a little bit on the outside, because if there's enough of us there that do it, then they can't they can't take all the joints off us. That it'd be funny. That'd be good, actually. We should try to stage that one. A big smoke up outside of Dungarvan Court there on the 23rd of this month. Paddy J says, Martin, can you name a place in the North Cork city? Gra and something or other. No, not that you put me on the spot now that I can't think of it. I can think of like Ardnagrana, and I'm thinking of like, no, not in Grana Braher. Grana Braher, is that what you're thinking of? Grana Braher? I don't know, man. Sorry. Hopefully that might have been it. Grana Braher. Grana Braher. Asma hopes he didn't need his keys because he lost them today. Marie McCloskey says the Rasher sent me your address and I'll forward that. Yeah. Drag after Marie. The Rasher says. Somehow I think that might be smelt at the post office. Oh, guys, in some other more positive news, guys, we've got something to look forward to, I suppose, maybe over the weekend. Myself and the Cannabis Activist Alliance, a number of our members are heading on a small little tour. A number of us are heading from Ireland to Spannabis. So we're going to be touching down in Barcelona there on Thursday evening. It's going to be late Thursday night. But we'll be spending then like the Friday, Saturday, Sunday over there in Barcelona. And I'll be back myself anyway in Ireland on the Monday. Don't think I'll be back down in Cork on time for a 4:20 news this day next week. But nonetheless, we'll have some live shows there from Barcelona and from Spannabis. We'll get to meet some of the the service providers over there, you know, such as the service providers, the people working within the cannabis cafes. Hopefully, I'll be able to get a couple of those people on camera, have a couple of interviews there as well, to air once I get back, and you know, do my little bit of edits. I'll do some live stuff over there as well where possible. But yeah, that's going to be happening over there. Yeah, there's a couple of who's out there in the audience. Scatness, Scatness is going to be joining us. Yes. After the Scatness, could be the Jamie for the weekend if that's cool. If you're not too blazed. Oh yes, but Spanibus, let's get her up there. Pop it up on screen there now for you all to see. Boom, so not long to go. 3 days, is that what it says? 3 days? Yeah, 3 days, 16 hours, 15 minutes, 55 seconds. It's not too late, guys, as well, if you want to go. Like, you know, what's Dublin to Barcelona? Let's just have a live check of the old flights. Oh, shit, it's up here. Boom, €89 there, but that's on the 23rd. That's no bueno. So if you were to do the same dates that I'm currently doing, you're talking about $153. And that's flying with Aer Lingus, and look at that, guys. Look at what time you'll be departing at. So you'll be departing at 4:20 on Thursday, arriving into Barcelona at 8 p.m. You'll be leaving on a Monday at 9:15 back into Dublin at 11 o'clock. And it's $153. Aer Lingus on the way out, Ryanair on the way back. Be warned, Ryanair will screw you in your baggage. Aer Lingus are sound. But $153, and you could come to Spanibus. We got room for 2 more in the Airbnb that we're after getting hooked up with. So if you would like to get involved in that, then get in touch. Let me know. If you're booking, there you go. 153 there right now on Aer Lingus and Ryanair. There's going to be a great event over there then. You got all of the kind of different companies that cater to the cannabis community, such as the seed producers, seed breeders. You have you got some of the activists over there as well. I believe that what's the guys from Aram? He's Albertillo. Albertillo is going to be over there as well with Aram and the FEDAC. So there'll be some of these people over there as well that I'll get to meet and hopefully get on camera, have a bit of a chat with. That should be a good crack as well. Then you got the different kind of media associated with the cannabis over there as well. Unfortunately, my media wasn't big enough to be included, but we'll get there. It says here the biggest cannabis fair, says Spanibus adapts to the times, always looking at for the best solutions for our clients. 280 international exhibitors, 3,900 professional guests, and 3 unforgettable days. And here's the map. So it's a large enough old spot as well, in fairness. I was looking at this map there the last day, like, John, just a fair old setup. There's DNA Genetics. So they got a nice little plug here on the map. You know, they got their label up there. Must have paid extra for that. And like this goes across then as well, you know. So there's a few extra stalls there. So Hydra Farm, so you see some of the cannabis grow suppliers over on this side. So that must be the cannabis grow section over here. So Fusion, they're there. Air Movement guys, I believe. Can Filters, then obviously that's some carbon filter suppliers. Dutch Passion, yes, look forward to meeting those guys, having an old chat. So yes, it's gonna be a great opportunity to meet some cool and wonderful people. I'm gonna have to go and get some bloody business cards and stuff like that, and some stickers and all of that crack as well printed before I get over there. We gotta represent the brand. And look, it's all out here as well, as you know. Top shelf packaging, lean. So this Dr. Dabber is out there. Buds and Bones, Dabinator, Access Rosin. So this is obviously like some sort of a rosin press kind of company. So this from California as well. Nice. Mini grow systems. That sounds cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I'm super excited. I haven't really spent much time going through all of this map. But as you can see, you know, you got like, what was it, 274 stalls here. I think that's where I see it end, 274. That's a hell of a lot of stalls. And then not only that, then they also got music here. So I think that there's a link down a little bit more for the music and performance. Here we go, music and performance. Is it there? Biological activated cocktail. No, that's just a sponsor. But anyway, it's going to be a hell of a weekend, so I'm looking forward to this. Maybe we're doing a bit of work over there, but we'll be enjoying it as well, you know, letting the, as I said, letting the hair down. What hair? Yes. Sorry, there was probably a big glare there on the camera as the hat came off and the light hit the head. So yes, this should be a great old crack anyway. There's a load of sponsors there as well that are going to be present over there. Ryanair will land you in Belarus, says Barry Fields. At least you're almost there. Just get a taxi back then, sure, it'll be grand. Apparently there's loads of buses leaving. Oh no, not Belarus. Belarus is in Russia, actually, isn't it? John Finnegan says, want to go, but no passport, no job, and no PCR test. Enjoy, guys, and bring me back something nice. Not a bother at all, John. You can get you an old stick of rock by. Hide a bit of hash then inside for you, by. Mackie's back. Ian Homegrown says, I'm back. Popped to the shop. What did I miss? Chilbert UK says, Ali Bongo is going. Yeah, Ali Bongo I think is going to be over there as well. You have to grab a Coke, Mac. Yeah, that's GB. GB is the Coke fiend. That was his own description there last night. A Coke fiend. Or was that Mackie's description of him, actually? Because let's see if anybody wants to chat. Anybody wants to chat? Anybody want to give a call, say hello, say goodbye? I got a few more minutes. I'm going to pack up another bowl and we'll start signing off then. We're nearing the 7 bells mark, so we leave the hotline open for 10 minutes. If anybody's got anything they want to say, anything that they want to get off their chest, you know, any stories that they want to share, the hotline is open. If not, guys, you can be quiet and just keep chatting away in the hot box, you know. Boom, there we go. We're all linked up anyway. I think I sorted out the audio issue as well. I just got like change a setting here and change a setting over there, and I'm good to go as well. And guys, a shameless plug actually as well. If anybody's out there around Cork, and if you'd like to get a bit of into a bit of fitness training, if you'd like to do a bit of self-defense, or if you'd like to do some one-on-one, or if you'd like to work with a partner, I'm taking bookings there for some classes, personal training, self-defense classes as well. So get in touch if anybody out there would like to partake in that. Again, you know, it goes without saying that these will be green friendly classes. You know, you can come wearing all the green you want. The fact I picked up my grinder there containing cannabis had nothing to do with the fact that, like I said, it's okay to wear green. And look at that, I just realised actually I'm pulling off kind of wearing a dark green here in front of the green screen today. Noted. Mackie as well is saying that Tommy Chong is on High and Homegrown tomorrow at 8. So get over there and check that one out, guys. Is that going to be live, Mackie? Is that going to be live on YouTube with Tommy Chong? Sweet. Happy days. I should catch up with him again, but it'd be decent if Tommy's going to be over here at Spanibus or something like that. It'd be decent to catch up with him in person. Tommy was decent to chat with, like, but I'd love to sit and smoke with him and have a proper, like, a good, nice 2-3 hour session there with him, because man, he's got a lot of stuff he talks, like, a lot of stories to tell, like, he's just really great to talk to. Could talk to him all day. Paddy J says, I hope you invited Frank F-Face Fian. Frank Fuckface Fian, that's what he says. I don't know, I'm self-censoring. I'm like John, I'm acclimatized to being around kids so much, being around young people, teaching there and whatnot. Like, I always kind of self-censor myself when it comes to using the old curse words. Just looking through some other comments there, guys. Guru Ganja Goat sounds good, high and homegrown. Yes. So there's a few people going to be checking that out, guys. That's 8 p.m. tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Irish time or UK time, over on the High on Homegrown channel. Link into this, the hot box there, the chat box. Can you grow a hoe? No, but you can garden with one. I've got a Dutch hoe. It's a very fancy one, actually. It's got a lovely big wooden handle, stainless steel head. She's great for doing all the weeding in my garden. Saves my back an awful lot of problems. In fairness, like, a good Dutch hoe will really help your back an awful lot, like, So I'd highly suggest a Dutch hoe to anybody out there. Dutch hoes are great for gardening and weeding. Weeding your garden. So a Dutch hoe, guys, if you're looking again. Any regular garden hoe will do, but the one I have is a Dutch hoe. I thought that was brilliant when I seen it on the label. I was just like repeating that all again up to the counter, and I was like, I would like to buy this Dutch hoe, please. I don't know, is there a difference between a Dutch one and a regular one? True temper at some hoes, and like Hunter's asking her, I heard those Dutch hoes are great, how much are they an hour? You mean I can rent my one out by the hour? Jeez, I don't know. You want to be getting at least 50, I suppose. Paddy J saying, where would you get a good Dutch hoe? The red light district, yeah. No, I actually don't think there's any good gardening shops down in the red light district, to be fair. I reckon if you just go down to Woody's, Woody's have got a good selection of Dutch hoes down there, in fairness. And the workers will be glad to assist you with your selection of a Dutch hoe that would suit your weeding needs. But yeah, Dutch hoes. Fucking great. Like, sure, who was coming up with that? It's a hoe. It's a garden hoe. But there was somebody out there, like, and they were like, this one's a Dutch hoe. Clearly just back from Amsterdam. I think it's 50 for a half hour, but I only need a few minutes. You only have a small amount of weeds in your garden, so Guru. Yeah, you can only rent it out by the half hour anyway. It's plenty of hoes and woodies. Yeah. I was down there actually the other day down in Woody's, and there was a woman in there in her pajamas. Got nothing to do with hoes. She wasn't looking for a hoe, but she was down there in pajamas and fluffy slippers, flip flops. I was like, get out of there! Like, seriously, come on. You couldn't throw on a pair of runners and an old jumper, like a house coat, a pair of pajamas underneath, and fluffy flip flop slippers. Oh man. Cork City is a classy place. Is that just a Cork thing? Does that happen elsewhere? I'd imagine that's probably happening in other places around Ireland too. Pajamas down at the shopping centre and all of that crack. Jesus, Hotbox is taking a turn. Yeah, I think I should close the hotline for fear of who might call in. What you say about my Dutch hole? Right, as we're hitting the 7 bell mark, we're gonna hit the hotline closed. If you remember the number, you can still ring. It's still connected. I'm gonna blaze a bowl and I'm gonna start saying goodbye. As it's been good to get on, it's good to get on and get the stream done again. I have to give a shout out to my housemates, as they were incredibly accommodating to allow me to get on and get a stream done, as some of them were resting and they had to move. Sound of them. So this one's for them, and this one is for OT1 as well, guys. Let's remember OT1 as well, Old Timer One, cannabis breeder extraordinaire. So bowls up for them, guys. In fairness, I was just looking there on Google. He's try to zoom in this so you can see. It's like, what is a Dutch hoe? A type of hoe which in the head consists of 2 edges cross blades attached to 2 prongs of a single pressing of the shape. So there you go. Dutch hoe versus regular hoe. So here we go, guys. Here we go, alright? This is something you're not going to learn over on High and Homegrown anyway. Jokes, Mackie. Hey, friendly banter. A Dutch hoe, also called a push hoe, doesn't have the typical hoe blade with its 90-degree angle. Instead, the blade of the Dutch hoe faces forward. If you are wondering how to use the Dutch hoe, it's not at all difficult. Guys, did you hear that? It's not at all difficult to use a Dutch hoe. So, guys, if you were ever worried about how difficult it was, to handle a Dutch hoe, it's not difficult at all. Look, it says you just push and pull instead of a chopping motion. Oh, yes, I'm so fucking glad I looked this up. Yes. So, guys, all right, if you were all worried, don't go and get the regular hoe, okay? Because there's just too much chopping, okay? You want a Dutch hoe, and you just use a little push and pull motion. You just push and you pull. Oh, yes, fucking yes. There we go. That's a lovely way there to start wrapping up the show with the difference between a Dutch hoe and a regular hoe. Have we got a picture to go with this? Actually, just so in case you're wondering, is there a picture in here? Yeah, I'll agree to their things. Come on, show me. So this is a regular one, I think. Is it? This the regular one? Because my one doesn't look like this one. My one is yeah, it's like straight. Yeah, so this is a regular hoe. That one there is a regular hoe. Let's go back. Images. So this is a type of Dutch hoe. That's kind of like what I have. Kind of. Yeah. But anyway, guys. High and Homegrown, family friendly. We don't talk about hoes, bro. Thought you were gardening, guys. Come on, like this is not in the, like I don't know why everybody assumes, like, when you're talking about my Dutch hoe, like that I'm on about like some lady that works over in a red light district, Come on, guys. Those ladies are not hoes. Stop implying that's an ill way to speak about our female lady compatriots. So no, we don't call ladies hoes, okay? Hoes are for gardening, okay, guys? Gardening, and a Dutch hoe, push and pull. All right, so we'll have to stop because Girls Only is after joining the chat. What's happening, Girls Only? We're just in time to say goodbye. Coming down for some of Girls Only's brownies there. Girls Only baked some lovely brownies last night, and guess what? They're not for girls only. They're for boys too. But Girls Only is not feeling great at the moment, but I will pass her up some brownies and ice cream there now in a minute, and I'm sure she'll be quite happy. Mark Downey says, what a time to tune in. Dutch hoes are a costly habit. It's a one-time buy. For me it was anyway. Where are you going buying your hose, guys? You must be getting bad ones if they're always breaking. R&B says, I left for 10 minutes and I come back and the Dutch hoe topic is still going. And in fairness, I think we left it for like a minute or two, and then I think we came back to it again. I got hose from different area codes. John Finnegan's borrowing people's hose and failing to return them, I guess, yeah. I'm never lending you my Dutch hoe anyway, John Finnegan. Stay away from my gardening tools, mister. Sketch in the chat, says Barry Fields. Nice. And John Finnegan is greeting Girls Only. And Pots4420 is appreciating the lesson on hose. Not a bother at all, guys. It's been for me it's been an informative one as well. I actually didn't know the difference between a Dutch hoe and a regular hoe, so it was good to learn. And now, when I'm out there handling my Dutch hoe, I will handle it in a correct manner. Push and pull only. No choppy. It's bad to chop with your Dutch hoe. Dad, you never told him you shaved your hairy head. I did. I flashed it a while ago. I didn't. I had an old trim of the beard as well. So guys, Darren Vickers is out there as well. What's happening, Darren Vickers? No, they're professionals. Welcome to the hot box there, Darren Vickers. Just spotting you up above there in the earlier comments that came in. Did I miss anybody else out there as we were kind of waffling on about stuff? We got Daily Talker, John Finnegan. Yeah, we got you all. Girls Only. If you're out there and I missed you, sorry. Hello. A baldy knock, Condon. Sound, guys, sound. It'll grow back quick. At least that's what my hairdresser told me. She was like, let me shave it down tight. I was like, all right, so go on. It'll grow back quick. Paddy J is looking forward to going to Woody's next time. Yeah, try to do it with a straight face as well, be all serious about it too. Like, don't laugh and snigger, like, and just come up with, just the most, like, suggestive way of talking about it as well, where it's rather more implied as to what you're saying. Get somebody else there nearby as well, Paddy J, to record you, man, and you'll make some comedy gold by. Nice one, Mackie. Mackie appreciates the old skinhead look. Says I look beautiful. Yes. Thanks. Imagine Mackie out there and singing that in the James Blunt voice now. You're beautiful. Nice one, Mackie. Right, guys, I'm going to love you and leave you. Going to say goodbyes. Stay blazed and all of that. Keep her lit. Stay safe, guys. Hopefully we're covering the 420 news in the future, that none of you, again, as I say, feature as part of it unless it's positive. But until the not too distant future, guys, stay blazed, keep it lit, and peace. Bye bye.